guys, I'm Dan from Build to Explore. We got a little bit different video today. We're going to show you the basics on how to use Gaia during your 24 Hours of Appalachia event. So I'm going to go over how to start a route, what settings you need on your Gaia as far as what's critical, and then I'll show you how to finish your route and send it to event coordinators at the end of the event. After that, we're going to go over some common questions that I hear about Gaia at the 24 Hours event. And yeah, so hopefully this will help you guys out for the Ohio event here in 2026. I've got a route set up here from the lake near our house to the mall where Isla, Warren, you can pan to Isla, is going to be picking out her first pocket knife. So, come on. We got Warren here running the camera, so hopefully this will be helpful. I like to set the GPS to have current speed first, because if we go over a certain speed for each event, that's a disqualification or a penalty. The middle box, I like to have moving speed. That is the other critical number. If you are going over a certain speed for the day, you'll be disqualified. So for like certain events, I think for this one, it might be 33 miles per hour moving average. That means you can't drive like crazy and then stop a mile before the finish line and wait. Your moving average speed is only when your tires are turning. And then I also like to have distance on the final one. So we got that. You're gonna do all this before you get to the start line. All right, then we're gonna hit the red button in the upper left. The last setting I like to hit is this arrow here. If you toggle it once, you can play with it. When it has this symbol here with the white arrow, the arrow will always point towards the top of the screen. On the day of the event, this is what the start line will probably look like. And you're going to be pushing that red start to record button right when you pull off the line as the countdown ends.
1,303 feet to waypoint.
Now we're going to start our route to the mall. So you can see here that the arrow is pointed the same direction as the Jeep, and we are following that bright green line, which is a route I created from the park to the mall. So you can see here that as we come up on a turn, the green line, which is my route, is going to the right. So that means we got a right turn coming up. One thing to note, in Gaia, sometimes the colors can be confusing. So this automatically picked the green route. You don't want to pick a route color that is similar to a lot of the colors used. It can definitely create confusion as you get tired along the day. Depending on the quality of your GPS and the GPS antennas, if you're using one, the system can be a bit laggy. So keep that in mind. It's best to play with these settings and get used to the GPS before the event, so that way you know exactly what you're dealing with. I like to mark additional fuel stops, auto parts stores, and hospitals on the map. I'll show you in a little bit how we can drop pins and change the symbol on them, so that way you don't have to actually click on the pins to know what they are. And another thing I like to do is drop helper pins on difficult intersections. So you're going to see that a lot of times the routes Jed makes might have a motorcycle or side-by-side only loop, and the path will divert from what the full-size rigs can do. So likely, if you're going to get confused on the map, it's going to be at those locations, so definitely pay attention ahead of time. I also like to mark anywhere that a stream crosses the route, even though there might be a bridge. Like in 2025 in Ohio, we had a ton of rain, and people got into some trouble where existing creeks were really high. So in that situation, at least if you know there's a creek there, you're going to potentially know if it rains that there's a potential high water situation, so you need to be a little bit more cautious. Alright, so here you can see we're coming in on another turn, and as an example here, there's a purple route and a blue route on my map from other stuff that I've done with kids. So this would be a good example of if there was like an alternate full-size or side-by-side route. So this might be a good location to drop a pin, so that way you know, oh hey, I'm staying on the green route. And Jed's colors will change throughout the day if there's different sections and that kind of stuff. One of your navigator's jobs is to make sure that you don't go over your max speed. Normally each event has a speed where you'll start getting 5-minute penalties for each time you go over a certain mile per hour, and there's also a disqualification able to stay continuously powered on the entire time. So that means you need to think about charging, and depending on what device you have, like if you're running a bigger iPad or a tablet, that charger needs to be able to maintain enough current so that way that device doesn't die even when acting as a nav unit all day. We always like to run a backup device, that way if we ever lose power on the main one or something glitches out, we have multiple good records. The common question I hear is, do I have to run Gaia? You know, maybe you're a diehard Onyx person, or you're a lead nav guy, or some other tablet nav app. And the answer is, you do have to run Gaia because it is the official app for the 2026 season, but you do not have to actually navigate with it. It just has to be running and recording in the background. So let's say you really like to navigate with Onyx, that's totally okay. Use Onyx as your primary nav, just keep the official record with Gaia in the background. Another question here, is Gaia free? And to my knowledge, Gaia has a monthly or yearly subscription. Just consider it part of your registration fee in order to be able to do these events, but it's just the way it is. Why Gaia? Why do we use Gaia over Onyx or other apps? So Gaia helps us record all the data throughout the day. So it maintains record of your speed, exactly where you were, if you were on course, if you weren't on course, this average moving speed that everybody cares about. So this is all the data that we need to keep people safe and honest on course. So for now, Gaia is the app. All right, so we're pulling into our destination here. You can imagine this would be like the finish line of the event. So park, and I'll show you what to do with the options. All right. When you finish the event, it'll look a little bit like this. 83. 83. You can't read it?
83, 1127. All right, you're good.
Hit finish there.
File to Jed.
All right. So we're going to tap the upper left-hand turn. We're going to hit finish track. All right, you can select off-roading. We're going to change the name to the name of our rig. So in this case, we are full size number 83. Okay, we're going to hit done. All right, now it's going to bring up this option, and then we can hit share, and we're going to hit export file, and I believe we can, correct me if I'm wrong here, we're going to share the GPX. All right, and then you can select save to files, which is never a bad idea, and you can also mail it to whoever it is that the event says you're going to mail it to. And you can see here, it covers all the important information that Jed needs to rate how you did in the event. So we have the total distance traveled, the total elapsed time, what our average speed was, the max speed, ascent, descent, start, and all that good stuff. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too bad, using Gaia to record your track and send it to the event coordinators at the end. I did say I was going to show you how to drop pins and change the symbol. So here's an example of how that works here. So to add a note, you're going to click here and then click the point. Position the point where you want it. And then you'll have an option for all of these symbols where you can change the color. They don't always make sense for exactly what we need for this event, but as long as you know what symbol you're using to mean which thing, hospital, water crossing, caution, populated area, you get the idea. You can add notes to these points, but during the event, you're going to have to click on the point to actually read the note, so it's a little bit less useful. And the other important thing I wanted to show you was how to download maps offline. So when you are out in Appalachia in these areas, service is very hit and miss, even if you have a Starlink, mobile internet, that kind of thing, not guaranteed. So you want to make sure whatever you're using to navigate, you've downloaded the maps in that area on Gaia or on Onyx, however you want to do it. So here's what that process looks like in Gaia. So you're going to go to that same plus symbol, and then you're going to select the area, and you're going to pick 3 points. This is the Daniel Boone Backcountry Discovery Route, just as an example. You can pull the individual points to cover the entire area that you're going to be operating in. I would suggest going a little bit bigger, just in case you get way off track. You can select what layer you want. I typically use Gaia Overland. Then you get this window. Then you're going to select Save Offline. You'll get one more window to make an adjustment for the area. It might give you a warning if you're downloading on cellular data. Click Download. One more option here for what layers you want to select, and click Next. Then you want to make sure you also verify this. So after everything's been downloaded, you can put your phone in airplane mode and make sure you can still access the data. So hopefully you found that that isn't too bad, using Gaia to record and save and send the info to make this 24-hour event official, and so you can get an actual score. One thing I want to add is this is recorded in the spring of 2026, and I'm not affiliated with Hours of Appalachia or the 24 Hours of Appalachia. I've just been a participant in 2 of the events. This is how I understand the events right now. And since we had such a good time in those other 2 events, we wanted to give back a little bit. So we're going to be volunteering at the Ohio event in 2026. You might find us out doing roving recoveries. We're going to bring the tow rig in case we have to drag anybody back. And we'll be working at the finish line from 9 p.m. to midnight to help you send your final results off to Jed at the event. If you still want to get a better idea of what these events are like, here's a link to our 2025 Ohio ordeal, and also the recent one right here in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, started in Seneca Rocks. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you out.